Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? What do you want, Dick? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it all off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
You better be, pal. Hey. Hey, hey. 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 I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky.
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
Oh. Oh ho ho. Oh ho 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 ho. You mean this, right?
My apologies, Chief Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident?
Alana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here. You might do well to read them.
I can't believe you. The chief prosecutor were a witness in that case. Ms. Sky was a witness? God, just those few lines of his. My tongue is instantly already swelling. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murderers. I don't think I need to take that from you. I'm pretty sure I can figure that out on my own. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma? But why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name's in there. I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana! This SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. Joe Dark. No, Lana! That's over with. No!
Emma, wait. She ran away. Good, I don't need her. Bring me back Mia or Maya. Either of them, I don't care. Both. Bring me back Maya with Mia possessing her. That's what I need. You know what? I just remembered I got to be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence.
Knowing you, you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck.
I'd better take a good look at this file. Yeah, let me do it. To be continued. Yeah, who needs to look at the file? We'll just wing it like we do everything else. What's the worst that could happen? Our client could get the death penalty? Ah, fuck them. They're probably guilty of something. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Ms. Lana Sky. Before that, let's go ahead and look at what we got here. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Crime, serial murder. Sentence, death. I'm pretty sure serial murder isn't a crime, but okay. Victims: Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Why do I know this name, this name? Ah, welcome back, Rogue. Let's see, what have you missed? After we proved that Meekins couldn't possibly have been the murderer, Edgeworth pointed out that we just proved that our defendant was still a viable possibility for the murder, and we are now trying to once again prove our actual client's innocence. What else has happened? Gumshoe showed up, speaking in his accent still hurts my tongue. We almost had a trio, but the girl with the glasses left. Yeah, what's her face left? What was her name? Fucking, I don't care. She was dumb. I don't like her. She's not Maya. Emma, that's it. I don't like her. She's not. I don't like her as much. She's not Maya or Mia. I had a bit of a rant. Bring back Maya. Bring back Mia. Fuck it. Bring back both. All in one body. Because that's the best version of Maya. What else? Oh, and then we are now this is the SL9 incident files that we're looking through right now, because apparently Lana decided they might be relevant. Oh, and we convinced Edgeworth to call Jake Marshall, who I'm pretty sure at this point is the murderer. She's not bad, but she's also not Maya, so yeah, she's also like, what, 13? At least with Maya, I could pretend. Had prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witnesses Lana Skye and Emma Skye. No, Emma's super young. She's young. She's younger than 16. I remember that for a fact. She's not even legal in Japan. I distinctly remember noting that fact. Unlike Maya, who I think is 17 at this point. Executive investigators Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Head investigator Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. This is such a shit show. This is like no information. All we do is see a bunch of names. Oh, that is probably not a coincidence. One of the victims has the same last name as the dude we're calling. That is probably not a coincidence. Trying to think here. Hey, nice boy. Welcome to the stream. How you been? I mean, assuming that since you're tuning in from what I assume is Hawaii, you're probably doing better than not, right? That's good. Do we? I don't even look anymore. Wow, okay. That's not a small number. Okay. So let's more than 3 must be a record. Shut the fuck up, Rogue. That's not the point. Okay, so let's figure out what we want to do from here. Northernmost island? Yeah, I've never heard of it, but I don't know anything about Hawaii. Emma didn't come back. Thank God. We need Mia here. Maybe now that Emma's gone, Mia will talk to us from the other side again.
Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
God, I hate doing Marshall's voice. I hate doing Marshall's voice almost as much as I love doing Edgeworth's voice. Well, then you know 2 things more about that island than I do. And I'm sure Nice Boy knows a lot more things about the island than I do as well. We're gonna pretend he's drinking water. He's probably drinking whiskey. Water from a flask, yeah.
Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man same as you, wandering the trails of civilization.
Marshall's drinking apple juice like a grown man should. It's milk.
Occasionally helping elderly cross intersections when needed. Yeah, we get it.
Oh, I know. You're a patrolman.
As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Phoenix is really thinking the only howling he'll be doing is later tonight when me and him are together. Yes, I still ship Phoenix and Edgeworth. It's the best ship in the game, okay? Deal with it. It's almost the only ship in the game because at this point everyone who's legal is dead. So... Except Lana. Lana's a hottie. Oof. But I don't think Phoenix is allowed to bang Lana since he's currently, you know, trying to prove her innocence. You should mix the apple juice and the monster. So then, I don't know, so that way you can hate yourself even more than just drinking the monster straight, I guess?
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct?
Shit, I need to be able to actually see my audio levels.
According to the papers, partner.
What do you mean?
A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
I hate this dude so much. God, can we just skip the middleman? We don't even need to find him guilty. Can we just execute him now? He's my dog, Pa. I'll do it. Maybe it's best if we get on with this quickly. Thank you, Judge. That's the first smart thing you've said in the 30-ish hours I've spent in this game. Please share with us your testimony the day of the crime. In plain old English. What would his execution be? That's true, he is a blackened, isn't he? Fuck. I think he gets drawn and quartered. He's got to be the first one at the game to die because it's extra brutal and has to set a bar way higher than any other execution will ever meet throughout the rest of its individual game. Because if you think back, the first execution is always the worst. Okay, that's not true. In DR2, that's not even close to true. But... all the executions in DR2 were god-awful, so I guess that doesn't really really matter. I can't think of a single good one off the top of my head. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. He said plain old English. I swear to God, I'm gonna get up and slap him. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Celeste easily would have been the most brutal if she had actually burned to death. That is probably true, yes. Although I still feel like Leon's would be a very close second in the first one. His was brutal. Of course, I think part of why it was so brutal is because we actually watched the entirety of it, whereas most cut away during, like, have some excuse to cut away during or zoom out during the most brutal sections of the theoretical death. Like, admittedly, Celeste is still pretty brutal if you got to actually see her get hit by the truck, but you don't. So, wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Well, yes. Well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks in the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines. Or with following orders. Alright, Flair. Thank you for coming by and hanging out with us. Have a good dinner, and I hope to see you again soon. Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Feel free to beat the hell out of him while you're at it. I was thinking more in effect than presentation. If we're talking presentation, Chiaki's takes the cake because it's Chiaki. And you're not wrong. If you include... God, I honestly don't remember Chiaki's execution from the actual game, because remembering her execution from the anime, the real Chiaki... God, we are spoiling the fuck out of this game right now. So for anybody who hasn't played Danganronpa, plug your ears and sing to yourself. The real she got oh yeah, she did get crushed by the Tetris block. I think her death in the anime was worse. Okay. Oh yeah, you weren't here for my announcement, Rogue. So, for some reason, someone, not gonna name any names, but this person was somebody I know in person and around here, and you all know this person, so that you know it can only be one person. Left a bottle of 99% peach alcohol in my car before we broke up. And I realized I barely drink regularly. And I also realized we've been considering doing a replay of Danganronpa, and these two things mesh together really well. So the long and the short is, when we do our replay, which I'm planning on doing when I finish this game, not the whole trilogy, but this specific game, we're going to do a replay, probably of DR1. We'll start with DR1. And we're going to apply the drinking game rules to it. So, post in the Discord ideas for rules. Preferably rules that won't kill me inside of the first stream. I'd like to live for at least... Let's see, what's my favorite? I'd like to live through Chapter 4. If I die at the end of Chapter 4, I'm okay with that. And I think dying at the end of Chapter 4 from alcohol poisoning sitting in a chair would be really poetic. What with how the person in Chapter 4 does in fact die. So... You'd probably die too. I don't expect to survive this. That's the goal, though. Well, I'm just gonna press him on everything. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos and nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. That is the dumbest rule ever. Each time I'd erase the tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. They said I would... Yeah, I would say... I'd say every month would be fair. But yeah, maybe every 3 to 6 would be a good time to erase. Especially with how low quality the video is. You have to assume that... Like... Security video does not take up that much space, all things considered. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime... Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Yeah, most, I don't know how I just did that, but alright. Most security cameras... record, even the ones that record at 1080, most of them record at between 9 and like 12 FPS, and that's it. Like super low FPS. That's why they're all stuttery. And even the 1080p ones, like I don't understand how they can be 1080p and still be absolutely garbage when it comes to like actual resolution. That's something that I've always failed to understand. Like, how can something be 1080p? Like, I'm looking at a 1080p screen right now, and this is by no means even, like, remotely bad. Oh, yeah, it's super low. Like, 12 to... I've never seen one record at 15 FPS. Even the ones that, like... Even the ones that say they record at faster rates still have a refresh rate that's super low, so it doesn't matter. Used to game at that rate. Sorry, partner, can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? That's what I'd like to know. How easy is it to get a security guard position at an evidence locker? You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite, incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. Right, Rogue? At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the case. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? If I remember right, I was at a... Oh, yeah. What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel Steak lunches can beat that parlor's vongole sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? That'll be good. Hold on, I gotta readjust. Shit. Then you can wear civilian clothes and have electronics. That's a plus. Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, did you not want a raise this year? Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone, or everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante. God damn it, that was an accident. I'm pretty sure I have to present the fingerprints, right? Proves he was there. Fuck it, do it. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd That is you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. We've had those for a while, and the chemicals are... That is the fingerprint set. The screwdriver...